Hello and welcome to Iron Port, your authoritative current affairs television program that has been designed to bring Ghana's port and maritime ministry closer to you closer to the port and maritime ministry of Ghana. It is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the Ghana Revenue Authority, GOIL Company Limited, Serene Insurance, and Ghana Link, the operators of the Integrated Customs Management System. Our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. If you grab the Thursday edition of the BNFT, all that transpires here on Iron Port will be found in that newspaper, so make sure to grab one. Today we are going to center our discussion on the E-Levy policy and assess the impact this new policy would have on digital trading under the African Continental Free Trade Area. We're also going to find out if the AFTA played any role in the introduction of this new E-Levy policy that was read in the budget about 2 weeks ago. To do this, we engaged two top trade experts who are also very conversant in AFTA issues. Take a listen. Trade practitioner and AFTA expert Louis Yao Afo has opined that continental trading under the Free Trade Agreement would not be derailed by the introduction of the E-Levy policy by government.
The Continental Free Trade Agreement is not barring any member country. Kenya is doing it. In fact, Kenya is one of the people who even started. But what I'm saying is that these are internal generating of funds. And I'm saying that there is no way you are infringing upon the activity of another member state. The only point where I said that where African Continental Free Trade issue will be in the negative is whereby, for example, under the services sector, trading services, under trading services, you have ICT, which has been liberalized. And there may be a company under good regulation, you are supposed to deregulate. There may be two companies. Let's take MTN, which is maybe a South African company. Yeah. Okay, it's entering the market in Ghana. Okay, and then there is a Ghanaian-owned telecom. Okay, and then the levy is said that you say, oh, because MTN is coming from South Africa, let me levy it 1.9%. Yeah. And then you say, oh, because Ghana company X is from Ghana, I'll levy 0. That is what AFTA will be again. Well, that one you are not being fair.
Speaking on Iron Port, the AFTA expert indicated that the E-Levy policy has been introduced by government as an innovative way of widening the tax net.
Most of trading has been in the informal sector. And because most trading have been in the informal sector, it's very difficult for governments to raise revenue internally. And so one of the ways that most governments are using, including what we are hearing, is to really widen the tax net to target the informal sector. And again, you realize that even at the continental free trade level, it might not affect digital trade even if it was enforced much, because it is not done at the border. This transaction is internal.
Louis Yao Afo, who is the executive director of the AFTA Policy Network, said this move also aligns with the ambition for party states to increase internally generated revenue as countries are to work towards 90% tariff liberalization. He predicted that many countries participating in the AFTA would follow suit.
Continental Free Trade is encouraging their members to make sure that they generate a lot of revenue internally and to shy away from borrowing from outside. And so the governments have very difficult task. You are now in a free trade. You are liberalizing 90% of your products over some period of years. Where are you going to get alternative revenue? Now you also don't want to go and borrow from outside because you are going to struggle with GDP per your debt ratios. So therefore, they have to now look for other avenues of widening its tax. And that is one of the reasons I think that every government is going to look for. In fact, even though some might not have started, they will soon do it.
Taking a stand on the subject, the West Africa Regional Director for CUTS International Accra, Apiakusi Adomako, did not believe that the E-Levy is a panacea to the tax gap problem in Ghana.
When government is considering how to rake in money, we've known in this country that government approach has been the path of least resistance, the low-hanging. Right. And so the low-hanging is the E-Levy, which becomes more like an inescapable levy that everybody who is wired on the E platform would have to pay. But before you introduce such a levy, you also need to be guided by international best practices. What does the literature say? I mean, there was when similar thing was introduced in Kenya, it had negative repercussion on the country.
He expressed that government may not have done a critical and holistic assessment of the impact of the E-Levy before its rollout.
Switching will not necessarily be easy, but for somebody, the 1.75 alone makes a lot of impact for him. Already, we've been talking about the 1% that the telecom companies take when you send money to be on the high side, because at the other side of the Atlantic, when you send money from your PayPal or Google Pay or Zelle, you don't pay any charges on it. We come to developing countries, and global multinationals are making money in Africa. The same company could not have charged the same 1% if that services was being rendered in Europe or America.
The West Africa Regional Director for CUTS International Accra urged government to rethink the policy.
For me, I think that government needs to have a full rethink on the E-Levy in a way that it will not take us backwards in terms of how the speed at which we are moving in terms of trying to digitalize the economy. We know for the first time that Momo transaction has exceeded the bank transfers, which is very good. It means that we have more money in the bank. Now Momo is also part of the financial ecosystem. And so it means that at every point in time, we have a lot of resources that even people can have, banks can have access to those funds and meet their short-term or overnight borrowing needs. But when we want to do this, a lot of people may say, look, it doesn't worth to, if I want to transfer 100,000 Ghana cedis from somebody in Kumasi, it doesn't worth the 1.75.
The two experts nonetheless agree that the rate applied to the E-Levy is expensive.
I'm thinking that the rate is something that needs to be reviewed. Maybe from 1.75, I'm thinking between the 0 point something or 1%, because already when you are talking about tax, it's not the tax that you are raising that makes people worry. It is about the fairness of it, the timing of it, and then what expectations people like to get from the tax that you collect.
And so when you are starting something, you need to start on a small scale. Let's say 0.005. People will not see it, and the ones
they don't feel the effect.
They will not feel the effect. But 1.75 to me is
quite on the high side.
Yes, and also government could have also negotiated with the telecoms, the Momo companies, to have also reduced their charges from 1% to, let's say, 0.75. And the government can then also put its 0.25%.
So that you all sum up to 1%.
1%.
Apia Kusi Adomako proffered some recommendations on how Ghana can leverage the buoyant e-commerce space.
Ghana, it is working very well. Go to Instagram, go to Facebook, you see item, you pay for it, they deliver it to you. Yes, that is the way the world is going. And we recently did a study for the GIZ, which was launched last 2 weeks. We saw this new trend whereby the appetite for people to go to the traditional market at Makola is dying. Everything is shifting. It's shifting to the malls and the electronic commerce. And so government should be looking at how do we integrate the traditional market into the commerce ecosystem, so that the revenue that is coming from there can also be. Maybe government could have considered e-commerce platform for Makola, maybe makola.com.gh, whereby anybody wants to buy anything from Makola, you go there, you pay for it, and the things get delivered to you.
Similarly, Louis Yao Afo explained the benefits of the Pan-African payments and settlement system for cross-border trading.
So you realize that PAPS is connected to central banks, all African central banks, so that it is not about the currency value, it's about the rate of change, it's about the rate of denomination. So for example, if I am a trader here in Ghana and I want to transact with transfer money to somebody in Nigeria, in those days I have to go to Nigeria or I have to denominate it in dollar before I can get Naira. So what PAPS is coming to do is that PAPS, you can transfer the money from cedis and the person will receive it in their own currency without going through all these bottlenecks.
The executive director of the AFTA Policy Network, however, rated the institutional preparedness of Ghana for after trading at 70%, but urged that the pillars of boosting intra-Africa trading should be religiously followed for success.
We need to use the BIAT as our yardsticks, because the BIAT is the boosting intra-African trade. Those are the pillars by which that AFTA will be measured if really member states are performing. And I think that out of the 7 pillars that are guiding principles of AFTA implementation or operationalization, I think we have a lot of few, especially trade infrastructure and trade finance.
The West Africa Regional Director for CATS International Accra, Apiakusi Adomako, on his part, rated Ghana's performance under AFTA at 80%.
In most African countries, the knowledge gap is wide. State institutions are not aligned with the rules of AFTA, but in Ghana, I think that we've done well. For example, the first shipment under the AFTA, which took place on the 1st of January 2001, here, by the time the goods got to the other side, the receiving country, those people were not aware of the rules of origin, so they still wanted to apply the taxes on it. And even when it comes to rules of origin, for example, recently, the Customs Authority, the Ghana Revenue Authority, trained close to 500 custom officials nationwide on rules of origin implementation. And Ghana is the first country under the AFCFTA to have done that.
All right, so folks, that was some analysis on the E-Levy policy from the AFTA perspective. Iron Port returns after this break.
Every now and again, GOIL makes good things happen. This time, GOIL has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with GOIL Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. GOIL has that sorted. GOIL, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifu, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse. And my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance Motor Policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
Welcome back. Now, over the past week, some interesting news and activities happened within the port and maritime industry. Let's take a look at those. The port of TAKORADI has witnessed the commissioning of the first Ghanaian-owned, Ghana-flagged supply vessel, which will support offshore oil and gas industry activities in Ghana. The anchor handling tug supply vessel NV Flag Confidence, with length of 70 meters and carrying capacity of 1,596 tons, was acquired by Flat Sea Marine Offshore following a long-term contract granted by TALO Ghana that enabled the company to raise finances to procure the vessel. The vessel will provide support during oil exports to both of TALO's floating production, storage and offloading systems, Kwame Nkrumah and John Evans Atta Mills. Deputy Managing Director of TALO Ghana, Cynthia Lumo, says the presence of the Flat Confidence vessel reflects the firm's commitment to develop and support local capacity growth.
We have taken deep, considered assessment of our involvement in the industry, and we've come to the conclusion that we must sharpen our focus on investing in the oil and gas industry in Africa.
The CEO of Flat Sea Marine Offshore Limited, Captain Francis Boache, highlighted the journey that led to this milestone in Ghana's offshore maritime industry. The director of the port of TAKORADI, Captain Ebenezer Afezi, assured the ship owners of the port's support to the company's operations.
We want to assist them to operate and operate very well, so that at least we'll have more Ghanaians owning vessels to work in Ghana.
Deputy Minister of Energy Andrew Ejapamesa said the landmark occasion ties in with a vision for a Ghana that is beyond aid.
If we are to realize a Ghana that is truly beyond aid, we must take bold steps to build the requisite capacities, skills and competencies needed for accelerated development in the country.
Ghana's very own GOIL has continued to reward its cherished customers with a variety of goods and services in its ASEDA promo. Ghana's leading oil marketing company is offering fuel, souvenirs, and additional services free of charge to its customers as a token of appreciation for their patronage all year round. At the GOIL station in Danfa, the company marked the one-year anniversary of the station by providing free health screening to its customers.
And yes, you turn good food, but we also think about the health of our customers. So that's the reason why today we are here. We organized health screening for our customers, and it was so amazing. She encouraged motorists to continue purchasing the highest grade of fuel available on the market at GOIL stations. We know some people or some industries, they are selling the raw 95 high grade, but the price is so high that ordinary customer cannot buy it. But GOIL, we are selling the raw 95 at the price of 91, which is an indication that we think about our customers. Some participants in the screening exercise shared their experience.
I'm happy. I'm happy I went through the process because I've gone to learn a lot of things about my health which I have to take serious.
I'm very impressed that you are giving us this thing freely. And today, I think today is my first time I'm enjoying this thing.
Meanwhile, at the Ashaiman GOIL station, motorists around the area benefited from the ongoing ASEDA promo. Souvenirs such as t-shirts, umbrellas, Bluetooth speakers, tissue boxes, waste bags, as well as free fuel were awarded to the various commercial and private drivers who bought from the station.
From since I'm going 3 years now, me nya pump case ni problem bia me engine ewa honde me de kwa fra ni bibia.
Because when you are using the GOIL fuel, you can't change your plugs continuously. When you change one plug, it will take you a long time before you change another plug. So the GOIL fuel is very fine. Today I happened to chance on a promotion going on and I won a Bluetooth speaker. I'm so happy. I'm grateful. Thank you, GOIL.
The TEMA Zonal Manager Rita Addo indicated that GOIL holds its customers very dearly, hence the need to continue appreciating them for their patronage.
So important to us because we have over 100 filling stations, but customers choose to remain with GOIL and they choose to be faithful to us. So we think it's good and it's opportune time for us to also reward them. Just drive in here with your abobo ya, your tricycle, taxis, trotros, anything that you use fuel to do. Even if you buy for your gen set, we say come here and get something for yourself for being faithful to us.
She urged the public to take advantage of the promo, which ends before next year.
We're rewarding all our customers now for patronizing our products. We want to tell them that thank you. That's why we say ASEDA promo. They should know that buying from GOIL, they will never go wrong. We have so many things on display today, which we are giving out to them.
Every now and again, GOIL makes good things happen. This time, GOIL has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with GOIL Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. GOIL has that sorted. GOIL, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse. And my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
All right, those were some local port and maritime news. Now let's take our lenses to the international scene and see what is happening in the global port and maritime industry next. Having achieved significant progress with solar and offshore wind energy developments, the UK government is now extending its financial support to tidal energy as the next logical step in its efforts to support the development of multiple forms of renewable energy. The government will dedicate nearly $27 million annually to tidal stream electricity projects as part of an overall program valued at $380 million annually for renewable energy projects. One of the most challenging ferry routes in northern Norway is set to go all electric, according to the Norwegian Public Roads Administration. The agency has signed a $180 million contract with operator Thorgensen Nord to switch to battery-powered vessels on the Bonyas Lodingen route located above the Arctic Circle. The 10-year charter begins in January 2024. Bloomberg reports that Danish forces of the frigate Esben Snare have killed 4 suspected pirates in the Gulf of Guinea, south of Nigeria. The frigate on Wednesday responded to alerts of increased pirate activity in the area where the vessel has been deployed to protect private trade ships. Special forces approached a small motorized vessel with 8 people on board who then opened fire. The Danish troops returned fire, killing 4 and wounding 1, while the small vessel sank. The remaining 3 suspected pirates are in custody. Now it's time to look at the schedule of vessels that have berthed within the port, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming weeks, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. Now this is the time we listen to a few comments from viewers of the program. Emmanuel Kwame Nyakpo from Angloga has a suggestion. He says, my take on this E-Levy issue is that I think the government of the day should readjust the percentage on E-Levy in order that the poor can also afford. Emmanuel from Ashoman says, very interesting discussion. I have just broadened my knowledge on the after. Kindly ask your guest if the object of the continental trade will be achieved when countries are likely to lose revenue. Hello Emmanuel, our expert says, not necessarily, because the strategy of AFTA is to have the various categories of countries gradually liberalize their taxes taken on some products originating from other party states, while maintaining the taxes from products not originating from Africa. Also, he says, there is existing financial support for struggling countries' first few years of AFTA to help them cope. Alright, so viewers, this brings us to the close of today's edition of Eye on Port. We hope you've been informed and educated. Remember, you can watch all that transpires here on Eye on Port on our YouTube channel, Eye on Port. Remember to subscribe, like, and give us feedback. Thank you for watching.